My name is Andrew Rowland and I'm a member of the National Negotiating Team for the Junior Doctors Committee and a member of the Executive Team. Today, in the first of our series of video clips, we're going to be looking at the Junior Doctors contract, banding and rebanding. This is the first in the series of video clips which will help promote your contract, provide you with sources of support at work and help guide you through some of the complex issues that arise from your training and from your employment. One of the important principles to understand about how you're paid is the pay banding system. This has been in operation since 2000 and is the way that you're paid each month. It's different for doctors who work full-time and doctors who are flexible trainees. And for those who are flexible trainees, we've got a section on our website that will help you. For those who are full-time, the way that you're paid is a base salary for 40 hours per week. And on top of that, if you work at any time outside of Monday to Friday, 7 AM to 7 PM, you receive a supplement. Or if you do more than 40 hours per week, you also receive a supplement. These supplements are called pay bands and fall into three main categories: Band 1, Band 2 and Band 3. Band 1 is for those doctors who are working between 40 and 48 hours per week. Band 2 is for those people who are working between 48 and 56 hours per week. And Band 3 is for those people who are working above 56 hours per week or whose employment does not comply with other aspects of the New Deal Junior Doctors contract. There are a number of reasons why changing the bands of posts has become important in recent years. Perhaps the major one of these is the introduction of the next stage of the European Working Time Directive in August 2009 for junior doctors. Because this will limit the number of hours that junior doctors are allowed to work per week to an average of 48, those people who are currently working more than 48 hours per week will need to move their hours to below 48 hours per week. The process by which this is done is to change the band of the post that they're in, a process called rebanding. This is something that all employers are keen to do at the moment because they won't want to run the risk of having junior doctors working more than 48 hours per week when the next stages of the EWTD are implemented. There are some really important key rights that you have before your employer can change the band of the post that you're working. Firstly, the majority of junior doctors working the rota or the majority of incoming junior doctors who will work the rota have to be consulted and have to give their agreement before an employer is allowed to change the band of the post. Secondly, educational approval must be given by the postgraduate dean or their representative, and this is usually the clinical tutor or postgraduate director of medical education who works for your employer. Thirdly, and crucially, approval must be given by a regional action team or their equivalent, and this is usually at health authority level. Unless all of these stages take place, your employer cannot change the band of the post that you're working. It's important to work with your employers during this process, but these do really give you some protection to stop employers changing the band of a post without discussing that with you. Within your contract is an appeals procedure which you can follow if you're not happy with the way that your employer has dealt with the way that your post has been rebanded. The British Medical Association has a huge amount of success representing junior doctors at banding appeals. These can be used when you're unhappy with a decision that your employer has taken, if they've changed your band of your post inappropriately, or you're not happy with a monitoring exercise. The way that you can appeal is set out in part of our guidance. The British Medical Association can provide you with a lot of support during this process, but this is only available to BMA members. I would strongly encourage people who are not a member of the BMA to join before the number of rebandings increases, so that the BMA can provide you with the support that you might need during this process if your employer doesn't follow the procedure properly. It's really important to remember that you have a lot of rights within your contract, and you shouldn't be frightened about exercising these. If you think that your employer has not placed you in the right band, or that they've changed your band of your post inappropriately, or they haven't got educational approval, it's really important that you do something about that. You can either do that as an individual, or perhaps what's better is to do that as a group of doctors working on a rota. There's a lot of support that the BMA can provide for you through this process, and a lot of junior doctors have had a huge amount of success winning appeals, having decisions reversed, and having the bands of their post put back to what they should be. For further information about this, your first point of contact should be Ask BMA. There's a lot of information that we're going to provide as part of this campaign on the BMA website, and you'll find further details of everything I've spoken about on our website.